Welcome. I'm Father Kevin, and this is Alert to Good News. Here's a video reflection for Sunday, October 3, the 27th Sunday in Ordinary Time. This afternoon, we have the blessing of animals at St. Raphael in honor of Francis of Assisi. And so if you have a pet, bring it to the field at 1 p.m. In the Gospel, Jesus explains, among other things, the sacred relationship between a man and a woman in marriage. Jesus reaffirms that marriage is a commitment of a husband to a wife and vice versa, in love for life and in the service of further life. Today, as in the days of Jesus, it is more a hope than a sure thing. Like anything else, it takes hard work and prayer. In light of this Monday's feast of St. Francis, I would like to speak about an extraordinary person of faith, a model for all of us, Francis of Assisi. This 13th century founder of the worldwide Franciscan movement has been described as a lover of animals. That's why we had the blessing of animals on his feast day. As an environmentalist, a peacemaker, a poet, a mystic, a reformer. But who really was Francis of Assisi? Francis came from a middle-class Italian family, and twice he went off to the wars in that region, and twice he failed miserably. And back in Assisi, he began to ask or wrestle with the fundamental questions of life. Who am I? What am I living for? What is my ultimate purpose in life? He yearned for something greater than himself. And so, in silence and in prayer, he began his own search, asking, "Who are you, O Lord, and who am I?" Eventually, Francis gave up everything he had. He experienced his own nothingness, his own creaturehood with an awesome creator, an all-good, compassionate God, a God who became one of us in Jesus of Nazareth, a God alive in our midst by the power of the Spirit. And so Francis began to pursue the gospel way of life in a literal fashion. And eventually, men and women began to gather around him to form what we know today as the worldwide Franciscan family. And so the question is, does this 13th century Francis have anything to say to us in our own 21st century? I believe he does. And I believe we can capture his message in 3 incidents in his life. One took place at Laverna, near Florence, Italy. Francis was praying, and he experienced the stigmata, or marks of the crucified Jesus in his hands, feet, and side. And this incident captures for me the depth of his own relationship with God. Francis encourages you and me to deepen our friendship with God through prayer, especially. And another incident occurred as Francis prayed before the crucifix in the tumble-down chapel of San Damiano, just outside the walls of Assisi. He heard the crucified Jesus tell him, "Francis, rebuild my house, which you see is falling into ruins. Francis of San Damiano challenges us to build up our own households, our life as family. And the third incident that captures the message of Francis was this. One day, as he rode on horseback, out stepped a man with so-called leprosy. Francis started to ride away. But no, Francis slowly dismounted and embraced the leper. Francis saw in that leper the brokenness of human beings. And a leper can be described as someone who lacks wholeness. And we experience this lack of wholeness in our own lives. We cry out for a healer, a reconciler. And we can find that in Jesus of Nazareth. This planet, in some ways, hasn't changed much since the days of Francis. First and foremost, he was able to focus upon the essential question of life. My life with God and my life with one another. And so may Francis inspire us to intensify our prayer life, to build up one another, especially in family, and to reach out to those whose lives have been broken, to those who are in need. And I close with an African proverb. If you think you're too small to make a difference, you haven't spent the night with a mosquito. The mosquito makes a difference in an annoying way, but the principle is universal. One person can stop an injustice. One person can be a voice of truth. One person's kindness can save a life. And each life matters. And God made us, all of us, for a purpose. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may you always be alert to good news.
Thank you for watching this video. You can see more videos here or simply subscribe by hitting the button below.